but we've got a great sponsor here with TechNexus helping us with the space. We've got our great coffee sponsors. Hopefully you have some delicious coffee. Tell you a little bit about 1MC and we'll kick it off. 1 Million Cups was started in 2012 by the Kauffman Foundation. It's a group that thought if we got 1 million cups of coffee consumed among entrepreneurs, great things would happen. And they do. Great things do happen. We educate one another. We inspire one another. We build community. There's a lot of empathy. Any startups in the room? Lots of startups. You know the 1,000 manic depressive states a day. And so it's good to be able to break up your week, come to an event like this, hear a few people present, tell their story, tell you guys, tell us where they are, what they're proud of, what they're excited about, what inspires them, and where they might be stuck. And then we, as an audience, have an opportunity to offer some assistance and some help. That's what 1MC is. We bring up 2 presenters every week. They come up for 6 minutes and they tell their story. They're not going to sell you anything, please, if you're presenting. They're not going to pitch. They're not raising capital. There aren't investors in the audience. They're here to say, look, this is what excites me. This is what gets me out of bed in the morning. And I've been doing it for this much time and I've made this much progress, but I'm also stuck. Or there's something that I could get some help or assistance with. And one of the greatest things, I think what has helped 1MC persist for this long is when we say, what can we as an audience do for you? Every 1MC, 108 different little chapters and communities nationwide, every Wednesday are asking, what can we as a community do for you? And that's really exciting and it's really powerful. So we're gonna bring up our first presenter. We're gonna cue up the presentation. I'll stop talking, I'll hand over the mic and we'll kick it off. Do we have Dominique or do we decide, yeah, definitely 100% Bree? We're pointing at Bree. Bree, come on up. Can we get Bree a standing ovation? Woo! Come on up. That is energy. You guys have such good energy today. Thank you.
Where do I put
this is for the video. This is for the audience. And then we don't have a little thing, but I will cue it up so it's full screen. That's fine. That's
okay.
It's perfect. Give me a second here. I'll get you up. Is there?
So that will be a video. So you can press escape.
Okay.
I think we go to share. Present.
Perfect. And then you just have to the down arrow.
Yeah. Perfect. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi everyone. My name's Bree. Really excited to be here today. So for me, growing up, I was always told I was great at the arts and humanities and not to worry about the maths and sciences. Especially a lot of girls growing up, you might have encountered the same thing. I think my teachers were, trying to be nice, but not too much pressure on me. So when I reached college, I had no STEM identity. I moved from Baltimore to Chicago to go to school at UChicago, and I had no idea what I wanted to major in. I looked at the list of majors and I saw computer science. I'd never seen computer science in my life. What could computers and science have anything to do with each other? Well, I decided to take my first Intro to Computer Science class. And it was very clear from day one of intro that I was already very behind. I was also the only woman in my Intro to Computer Science class. Well, I kept going. I worked as a data scientist and my technical teams. I'd be at a conference, they looked like me, and I just had no sense of belonging in the space. So I decided, what can I do to help make a change? So I decided to call up all of my community centers, libraries, schools in my neighborhood, and I just asked, can I volunteer in some sort of coding after school program? All of them told me, no, we don't have anything, until one community center said, why don't you just create your own program and bring it here? So I started my own after school program about a decade ago. And for anyone that does community engagement, you know that one program turns to 2 to 5 to 10, and suddenly you have a nonprofit. So that's where I am today. I serve as the executive director and founder of Code Your Dreams. We're a Chicago-based nonprofit. We do programs all around the world, starting as young as kindergarten, going all the way up through adults. So what we're doing is empowering every learner to become a fearless creator of technology that changes the world. We know that technology is power. It impacts almost every aspect of everything that we're doing. And so why is it that it's only a small percentage of the population that's creating the technology that impacts our lives? And so our vision is we want everyone, anyone who's walking down the street to be able to see a problem in your community and say, hey, I can create a solution with technology. So that's what we're doing. So we started in direct services. So basically, 10 years ago, I was a data scientist, and I would just wait until no one was looking at me at work, and I would leave and go to a community center and teach a program, and that was every day of my life. And that's where we started. So we do as young as kindergarten for our youth, free and stipend-based after-school programs, summer programs, family coding days, and hackathons. And then for adults, we do after-work trainings, as well as we're in over 1,000 U.S. correctional facilities, as well as a few abroad as well. And this has been working really great, right? So we've had a 5th grader who's been impacted by gun violence build a mobile app that helps others in his community, finds resources. We've had a grandmother who's incarcerated who has built an app to help others cook homemade meals inside correctional facilities. These are unique innovations that if we don't get, where are we heading to? So we do these big events that spark interest. So for example, Hack for Accessibility, one of the biggest hackathons for our students with disabilities. We do a Celebrating Deaf Technologists event every year. Last year, we had students from over 16 countries involved, and we actually held Code Together Day this year at TechNexus. So where we're going is we now have a platform called the Code Your Dreams Hub. It's free, where anyone can bring Code Your Dreams to their local community. This platform has all of our curriculum, over 12 different curriculum tracks, a teacher training program, daily lesson plans, handouts, slides, everything you need to bring Code Your Dreams into your community. So we literally want to bring Code Your Dreams everywhere around the world. And we've already sparked a movement, so we've graduated over 6,000 students. And these students are incredible. I now can't believe I have students that are working in tech, that have started their own companies, that are changing the world, starting their own nonprofits. And this is where we need your help. So we're a small nonprofit making a really big impact, and we're trying to figure out how do we scale. We have the tech, we have the curriculum, we have the program and the kind of method of teaching, but we're figuring out, what grants, fundraising strategies, what are impactful community and corporate collaborations, and how do we generate awareness around our Code Your Dreams clubs, because they are free, and we want to make sure that everyone with interest has access. So thank you so much for having me.
Wow. That is awesome. So how can we as a community help Bree? Any comments, any thoughts on maybe grant fundraising or community and corporate collaborations, or people you know or can think of that, you should meet or have you thought of? Who wants to go? It's a big welcoming environment. Anybody can go first.
2 quick questions. I'm assuming everything is in person.
Mostly, I'd say 99% in person, although some of our programs are virtual.
Okay. And then also second, do you have an issue with devices, physical devices, computers, phones, anything like that?
Yes, I'd say internet is probably our biggest problem, especially abroad in places where there isn't a ton of infrastructure. So Burundi, for example, we've had a lot of trouble finding sustainable, reliable internet. Companies do donate computers to us so that for our programs, they receive a stipend, but many, they receive a computer that they're able to keep at the end of the program. So we do need kind of constant supplies of computers.
I was thinking CDW, Verizon, Comcast, they all have
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Who else? Mabel?
My question is like, if kind of two questions. If you started up, like, is there some help that your organization does starting the fund and like, getting everything situated and figured out?
So what support do you provide new clubs?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now it's kind of based on the club, the kind of support that we're able to give them. We also do larger organizations, schools, institutions. We do have a model where we can get paid to provide like more support. So for example, at the end of the program, we always have this big showcase for our students where we invite the community, we have judges. And so for larger schools, we'll do all of that legwork for them, but there is a cost to that.
No? Nice.
Have you already connected with a lot of campuses, for one?
So we're connected to University of Chicago. We do, it's called Summer Coding at UChicago, Builders Academy every summer. It's 6 weeks, all day for 5 days a week, and it's taught by UChicago faculty and students. It's really cool because I mean, it's a really big deal for our high schoolers to be able to, you know, put that on their resume.
My niece loves it. That's fantastic and exciting. I was actually asking in regards to clubs.
Oh, for clubs. So we do want to get more involved in college campuses because, I mean, those are leaders who want to give back to their community. So I think that's a great idea.
So perhaps through alumni associations.
Mm.
And then
Are you comfortable with the current level of marketing that you're doing for this? Do you feel like you're able to get the word out and get like a lot of exposure through like your social media platforms, website, etc.?
So we do have an amazing volunteer marketing team, and it's pretty new because I'll be honest, I'm pretty new to the world of business. Starting the nonprofit, I never thought I'd start a nonprofit or a business. And so early on with Code Your Dreams, I was like, oh, I don't want to do marketing. I just want to do programs because I thought, you know, I only have so much time. But marketing is key to anything, to the impact. So I'd say there's to do with marketing, and that's a big kind of key piece to all of this that we haven't fully figured out yet.
I remember my
Oh, we'll come back in a second. Any one of these two?
Oh, sure.
Hi. I love everything you shared. I just had a few potential connections I can share. So Ellie, you mentioned summer camps. I volunteer. I teach high schoolers entrepreneurship at my high school, my Math and Science Academy, and they do summer camps. So I'm happy to ask them if they're open to like having you all, you know, as a camp. For colleges, I was curious if you just explored more rural areas. I'm from Peoria, Illinois, and so I know like there's like disproportionately less resource. I can try to make connections with like local universities if that's something you're interested in. And for marketing, I'm really good at storytelling and social media, so I'm happy to help with that too. So
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yes. So all of the things. And I think your point on rural is super, super important. I think that our rural students often are forgotten a lot of programming that happens. And we are doing more with rural. I was actually just the keynote for the Rural Kansas Computer Science Educators Conference. So would love to explore that.
Yeah. Got a couple in the back, and then you want to come back to you.
The small business associations, for example, Schaumburg has a really big one. I'm sure there's some here in Great City as well, but like a local chamber. So
Yeah.
we're gonna help a small business like yours with funding, assistance, helping you stand up and scale. So just another thought.
Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah.
We own a brick and mortar, and so how would we collaborate with you as far as for introducing our community to this type of program?
Yeah, we could do an event together even. We do a lot of workshops for the community. AI is obviously a really big topic, and there's a lot of misinformation and misuse around AI, and especially in the way that we're all using AI. Some people aren't. There's a lot of problems when it comes to AI. So we like to do for communities AI workshops, just kind of helping people use it intentionally, learn about kind of the pitfalls when it comes to AI, some of the environmental impacts, some of the social impacts, but also just learn more about like using it intentionally and thinking critically about what we're using. Thank you.
Good time for one more. You want to ask your follow-up?
Okay, so sororities and fraternities, have you considered connecting with them? Because if you connect with one, you connect with several campuses at once. Some of them have initiatives. I don't know offhand if they have an initiative, but they may be willing to have an initiative that connects, aligns with what you're doing. The other thing is, what is your business structure?
Yeah, so first of all, I love that idea. And then, so we're a nonprofit.
But I mean,
We're gonna get into the business
have a
structure.
501.
Let's do it after that. After
okay,
we're gonna free up the floor for the next one,
Yes,
and you guys should talk afterwards.
okay.
perfect.
Can we give a round of applause? Thank you. I'm sorry to cut you off. Okay. Do we have Dominique in the house? Can we give a standing ovation for our next presenter, Dominique? Yeah. I'm gonna ask you to pin this on comfortably. That's for streaming. This
Okay.
is for the audience.
Got
here.
it. Check 1, 2.
And then it gives me a chance to stall and get your presentation queued up.
That is going to be a tough act to follow. And I can't relate. I was the only woman in my C++ class. So I get that. All right. Well, hola, me llamo Dominica Betancourt. I am the founder and owner and operator of the Zemi Coffee Cart. I did not bring any coffee, so I really apologize for that.
Next time.
Hey, next time. I am on a journey to build a soil to cup culture, food. Wepa, yep, they're in the house. Always. And drinks through unique street presence, an unforgettable experience, and specialized offerings. So why am I here? I am here because I have several opportunities in front of me to grow this business and move to the next iteration. And I'm hoping for your insight and some opinion about what could be the next right step.
You have a 55-person board of directors.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm paid. Perfect. The opportunity
Drop to
actually
7.
The opportunity actually started in 2019. I don't know if it will start or maybe it won't play. Okay, well, you get the last shot of the finca. So the opportunity was that in 2019, my family came to me and asked if I could acquire the farm my family grew up on. And this is in Canovenas, Puerto Rico, and we call it the finca. And they had said, hey, this is not operating. There's nothing on it. You can see there's a lot of foliage on there. And it needs to be revitalized. Well, this reignited an idea I had in my mind to when I had lived overseas around coffee, because I have found out that this is really interesting. I've worked in coffee shops and things like that. I've never heard of Puerto Rican. Is it too loud? Usually that happens to Puerto Ricans. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up here. So I was like, I have never heard of Puerto Rican coffee. I'd never seen it in coffee shops. It's really offered. So I want to learn more. So I bought a box of 25 different coffees from farms across Puerto Rico. My husband and I tasted those for about 60 days. We gave it to our friends, and we landed on a small farm called El Coquí. This is in San Sebastián, Puerto Rico. And I went there. We established our partnership, and now we got the thing started, right? So we start the taste test, then the carrito, the cart. You could say, why didn't you do a truck, Dominique? You're right. I looked into a truck. But I wanted a little bit more access. So I found a company that actually made a coffee cart on a bike. And then from there, we got the funding. So I sold my condo. And so it was a good place to get funding. And in 2023, the Zemi Coffee Cart was born. Now in Oak Park, oh, you can't see the video, that's okay, but you can see the carrito, that's it right there. That's the cart. It will drive away in this video. But what happened is there was already a mobile coffee business in Oak Park. And so I knew it was already established. The question was, could I do it better? And could I do it more unique, right? And so throughout 2024, we had grown this business. We cracked the code at schools. We started posting up at schools. 40% of our business is kids. We cracked the code in block parties. Block parties, there's 400 block parties in Oak Park every year. I did 100 of those in 2024.
Wow.
Thank you. It's a lot of sweat, literally. And then I started expanding into River Forest, into Forest Park, and all of these different places. So it continues to grow. Then that's our market validation. And then the beta test. This is, we get a, can we run a cafe? Let me tell you, it's very hard. What I learned in 4 months, I think it takes about a couple of years to learn. So a lot of learnings, but it did, hurt some of the cash flow. But what that meant is how do we grow? What do I do from here, right? Well, here's my challenge. I got 3 opportunities in front of me. The first one is Avondale. Not my market, but I can take over a cafe. And I can generate 365 revenue, which is really a key part of the go forward strategy. I can get that in October, but it does take me far from my market, and it does require an investment. Number 2, do I just focus on a location? I'm trying for 2 years to find a location in Oak Park. There's not a lot of offerings or opportunity there, but do I go outside? Do I go to Berwyn? That kind of thing, right? Capital raising, going to take an investment to make that happen. Or do I focus on events? I've been asked to go to Hoffman Estates, Riverside, go outside of the biking range, which means I need a car, a trailer to get it there. But events are more profitable. They're definitely, if you can crack that code, you can really be able to produce a lot more revenue. And the cart is very unique and people love it. So for me to move forward. So these are my 3 big opportunities in front of me to further the vision. The opportunity on the farm is this will help drive revenue to rebuild that farm. And that will take about 10 years to make happen. So thank you so much for listening. And I can't wait for you guys' questions.
Thank you. We already have one in the audience.
So if you decide to open like a brick and mortar, what then becomes your differentiator? Because it sounds like you position yourself as this really unique coffee cart who like comes to the park, comes to your block party, all that, and that excites people. But if you open a shop, you're just another coffee shop.
Absolutely not. So not just another coffee shop. So well, first you have the Puerto Rican coffee. You also have there's a lot of I'll call them like island unique drinks. So for my Puerto Ricans in the house, the paracha, which is passion fruit. I hold these on the cart as well as limeade, and the key is going to be food. So that was my big learning at this ice cream shop. Is food is clutch, and Puerto Ricans make amazing sandwiches, and we make it on this bread called pan sabao, which is very delicious. So to me, that would be the differentiators. Be able to have really, not fast is not the right word, but food that you can grab and go. That's what a lot of people were looking for out of my shop that I couldn't deliver, as well as the ability to have a unique experience inside the shop. So I don't know if any of you have been into coffee shops or retail shops lately, but there's not a lot of, hey, how you're doing? Not a lot of that. That is the complete opposite of what you got in my cafe. And at the cart, people hang out, they're talking, it builds connections, which I think is something you don't really find all that often anymore.
Is there any way you can do a hybrid approach, seasonal?
Hit me.
So, events in the nice weather, cafe in the worst weather.
Yes, I could, but it would only keep it, well, financially speaking, it poses a challenge of bringing on more people.
Yes.
Because I'm a one-woman show, do it all. So that's where I would really have to figure out how to make that happen so I'm not doing it all.
But if you were to expand to the events that are more profitable,
Right,
that will give you more cash flow.
right. Correct. You're right. I like that. Okay, plan A. I'm going, I like it. Okay, any other thoughts? Yep.
So I married a coffee connoisseur that was born and raised in Yauco, Puerto Rico.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm done, you guys. I'm going with her.
And so have you thought about maybe a subscription model? Because we're avid coffee drinkers and I find myself having to buy bags of whole bean coffee.
Right.
If I can have an organization that I can support on a subscription base because we drink coffee.
Oh, okay. Now we see that East Coast come out. Okay, I heard it.
Every day, right? Have you thought about a subscription model?
I have it. And I think I've heard mixed reviews about how well coffee companies are doing on subscription models. I'm not against it. I do get asked a lot. I actually have somebody who reached out to me. So I think that would be a way to go. I have to balance that with the ability to house so much coffee. I run out of my house. So as far as like keeping all that coffee and getting that from, but that is definitely something I've also considered as well, because I do have people ask me that. Thank you.
Arliss, I know you had your hand up for a while.
Go ahead.
What is the end goal of the company?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to answer this in the sense that I don't want to be a big corporation. I really would like to keep it in my community and really be able to have one shop is really all I think I need. But to really facilitate what is happening in Puerto Rico, my goal there is to rehabilitate that farm and to make it a place to stay. So I don't have these big growth goals that a lot of coffee shops have, right? Adding another shop here, that kind of thing. I believe I could be a long-term sustainable business through a shop and the carts as the method of growth, and then at the farm. So that's kind of how I see it as far as sustainability. Yes, go.
I wonder if there's an opportunity, this may be letting go too much control of the brewing and everything itself.
That's gonna be hard.
But reaching out to other independent coffee shops and having some type of partnership where you have your special blend as one of their featured blends. I could also see a seasonal component to it, like Hispanic Heritage Month or something like that, or maybe there's this pop of these local shops want your whole beans, etc. And just get your brand out there.
You know, that's a really great point. I know the farm, so El Coqui is probably more than open to actually create my own blend. I haven't asked them that, right? I just resell their medium roast. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yep. Yeah, I think that could be a way to do that. In Oak Park, we have way too much coffee, by the way, like way too much coffee. But I do think there is a lot of collaboration, so I do feel like that could be an avenue to move forward. Yes.
I definitely think the cart is the way to go, just looking at where you are.
Yeah.
And then I also think take the Bombas approach, right? So you're talking about a farm, you're talking about something completely different than
Right.
the average Joe, literally Joe coffee, right?
Yeah.
But in the regard of like, you're talking about wanting to get back to your farm, make that your focus and your messaging, just it's bringing up your messaging.
Okay, thank you,
I like
thank
it.
you.
Okay, couple more.
Go ahead.
Wait, so with this part, what do you do then to kind of substitute that in the winter when it's colder outside?
Do you want me to answer that, or do you have a follow-up?
And then it also sounds like you are very much in the business right now, so in terms of scale, like what is your growth plan for that? Because you want maybe more cards, or you gotta take a
Yeah.
vacation at some point, right? So like,
I'm about to, yeah.
how do you, like, have you thought about, how to scale and maybe?
So I'm gonna go straight after your second question, and the answer is I kind of have it. As far as like, what is it beyond me? I tested that a little bit at the ice cream shop because I hired people and I schooled them in my way, if you want to say that. But I don't know the answer to that. But that's where I struggle, is that second question, right? Of like, how do I scale beyond me? Because I do everything, right? From the card to everything. What was your first question? I forgot already.
If you're looking to scale, even on like a
Yeah.
smaller scale, right? Like, how do
how do you do that and waste your time when a card is maybe less desirable people?
College campuses.
I think to scale the cart, I would need to train people, right, on the cart. It's very different. It's a completely different beast. So training them to make that happen. I do think I have the right pool in Oak Park to make that happen, but I need it. So in order for me to grow the carts, I have to have a space. This is a local ordinance requirement, right? And so in order to do that, so if I want more carts, I have to have that. And that's been difficult for me to find. So then when I have that, then I can train people. Do you see where I'm with that? So now I can get past me. Yeah.
I feel like at the rate you're moving, you should have a flagship location where you're also training like people that are gonna be on bike.
Yes, I was very close.
Just delegate all that.
It was going to be this old car wash, my friend, and he didn't accept my offer. You know what I'm saying? I thought I gave a good offer. So that's the location. That's what I'm trying to, you know what I mean? So I keep trying to focus on that, but do I have to go outside of Oak Park because there is no space, right? And that could be a Berwyn, something else, but then I move outside my market a little bit. So, but that's a big, you know, that's a big capital raise, right? I want to rent. I think I don't like the concept of renting commercially. I would love to buy, but that is my big. I keep focus on that because I can't grow the carts without it.
One thing I have a question about, great presentation, by the way.
Oh, thanks, because that was a tough follow up. You know what I'm saying? That was some real inspirational shit. I was like, whoa, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it.
No, I think your message and where you want to be, I think a lot of entrepreneurs maybe don't put that at the forefront. To your point about the messaging, that share with people about this is Puerto Rican, culture you're tasting. This is a farm that you're possibly impacting. I think the community will be kind of quicker to help you out. And
yeah.
I know someone that would want you at a wedding,
Oh yeah, I got the flags up and everything, bro. If you know Puerto Ricans, the moment they see those flags, they're like,
yeah. About like that you don't want to be as big as they might assume you to be. Just getting that across and then letting people kind of, I think that what you're asking is a good question, but I think your community like that purchases from you is the ones that are probably going to help give you a really good answer.
Yeah, no, and I do when we're at the car and I'm speaking, right, I get it across individually, but it's kind of funny. I've worked over 20 years in product marketing, development, everything. And I feel like I'm doing okay, but when your head's down in your business, like the stuff that you're really good at maybe starts to go back. So you're right. So the message, reevaluating what I put forward, because that video, the Finca, isn't even on my site, right? Like it's not even there. So I think that's a good point.
Sassy, bring us home.
Last one. Just curious if you've gotten support from like an organization, like the Women's Business Development Center.
Oh yeah, I'm all up in that. I'm all up in the SBA. Up in the Source, Chicago. I mean, Chinese mutual aid, my besties. I mean, I'm all up in it because I was like, how am I going to raise capital? What does that look like? Who's going to give me money? Why is somebody giving money to that guy and not to me when that's a stupid idea? No, I'm just kidding. So I think it's like I really pushed a lot into that world, but then it all fell apart. So now I'm like, where do I go from here? Because I got to keep charging forward, right?
Yeah.
So,
come on.
all right,
Let's stay up here for a second. I don't know how you would have followed Bree if you weren't Latin American and didn't bring that energy. But holy moly! I mean, come on, one more time for both presenters. Bree, can you come on up? Yeah. We have these amazing little tumblers. This is an incentive. This is something I get to do after you've been doing this for about 10 to 12 weeks. Can you raise your hand if you were a past presenter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Thank you guys for coming back. This is for you.
Oh, thank you.
This is for you. This
fun.
is also for you.
Oh, write all my thoughts.
You guys give all these great ideas. They should be taking notes, but we give the notepad afterwards.
I was gonna say, where's my stenographer?
Yeah. I mean, all right, we're going to take a picture in a second. If you wouldn't mind hanging out, I want to do one quick thing. Oh, hi, Bree. Let's go back to 1MC here. Oh, yeah, thank you.